Chloe is a young adult who really cares about her health and well-being. She's been trying different apps on the App Store, but the main thing that's keeping her down is her sleep quality. She's tried other apps on the market, which try to correct your sleep posture and give you meditative lessons before you go to sleep, but they just haven't really helped her. Our group decided to fix this gap in the market and focus on a sleeping quality app which focuses on lifestyle factors instead of just what other apps are already doing. In order to evaluate the viability of our idea to correlate sleep quality with everyday lifestyle, we conducted surveys with many participants. The survey helped us to answer a few key questions. Firstly, are there any existing apps in the marketplace which already served this need? And secondly, are the common lifestyle factors associated with poor sleep quality in the literature causing people problems in practice? We opted for close-ended questions, usually using a scale between 0 and 10. After collecting these survey results, we analyzed them and visualized the data in terms of bar plots and pie charts, and then we discussed the findings as a team. We found in practice the factors that were affecting people's sleep the most were exactly those that were described in the literature. For example, caffeine intake, alcohol consumption, screen usage before bed, and similar. After analyzing our data, we were now ready to derive requirements for the application. We cut across different categories, for example, the functional requirements, the data requirements, the user requirements, the environmental requirements, and the usability requirements for our application. From these requirements, we were able to brainstorm and come up with personas.
We looked at the data, and we analyzed it, and we built some personas for the people who would be targeted by our product. And what we found was that our persona was a 22-year-old university student called Jackson. Jackson's always tired because he's always chasing his deadlines, trying to keep up with all of his university assignments. His diet is a mix of healthy food and unhealthy food, and he has way too much coffee. And we think that Jackson is the perfect target for our app.
The next step was to develop paper prototypes based on the requirements. We started by coming up with different conceptual metaphors for the application. The way that these differed was mostly in terms of the interfaces that we chose. For example, we toyed around with different ideas, such as whether the analytics should be shown in a graph or in a calendar format. From our conceptual model that we ended up choosing, we developed a storyboard to explain the purpose of the application. We showed the main 3 views: the user rating their sleep in the morning, the user entering in their lifestyle behaviors at night, and getting the analytics on how their sleep quality is related to their lifestyle factors. We showed our storyboards to a variety of different users, and we gathered their feedback on whether they could understand the main purpose of our application just given the storyboard. We found that most people understood the concept quite quickly. The next step was to perform user evaluations. What we did is we created our prototype using Balsamiq, and then we decided to come up with 3 main tasks which would reflect typical behaviors of users. These 3 tasks involved things like signing up, entering their lifestyle behaviors for the day, entering in their data for how their sleep was in the morning, and viewing their analytics. We timed these tasks and we measured things such as the number of clicks to perform the action, the number of errors that occurred, and so forth. After gathering feedback from our user evaluations, we found that there were 2 key iterations that we could make to improve the usability of our application. The first piece of key feedback that we gained from users during this user evaluation was that they didn't really enjoy using the system of manually entering their sleep. So other sleeping apps, for example, can pair with a smartwatch, and then the smartwatch can measure your heartbeat and then infer your sleeping quality. So eventually we decided to add this to our application, just to give users the convenience and option, not have to manually enter in their sleep quality every single day. Another crucial iteration of our application that was possible due to user evaluations was their feedback on entering in their lifestyle data at the end of the day. At the end of the day, people are tired and will usually forget to enter this in. So we decided to change the way that the user interacts with the application from instructing to responding. So instead of the user having to manually remember and then check in, the application will send a notification to the user, remind them to fill in the survey. We found this is not only much more convenient, but also is much better at getting the user to fill out the survey. Now that we have highlighted our process to actually develop the application, we're ready to show you the final product. Chloe is a university student who's been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately as she's been managing so many deadlines as part of her studies. She's just started using our Sleep Matters app, so when she wakes up in the morning, the first thing she's going to do is check in on how she slept the night before. At night, Chloe's catching up on some coursework and it's getting late. That's when the Sleep Matters app gives her a notification telling her to fill out the survey and then get some rest. The survey at night asks the user about their habits, for example, how much alcohol they've been drinking, caffeine intake, and so forth. It basically does this so that we can keep track of the important factors that are affecting sleep quality and correlate them so that we can give useful tips on how they can improve their sleep quality. After using the app for a few days, you can start to gain insights on how your trends are going. For example, has your lifestyle been improving recently? Has your sleep quality been improving recently? We display this information in different ways. One is by using a calendar view. The user can click on the calendar and they'll see every single day that they've been using the app, circled with either a green circle or a red circle. Green circles represent days that their lifestyle behaviors were good, and red circles represent when their behaviors were bad. Overall, we think that this is going to provide a visual trend of how they've been performing over time. The user can also view the top factors that are affecting their sleep. For example, maybe their alcohol intake is very high, which causes their sleep quality to be very low. Overall, we believe that Sleep Matters is taking a unique approach towards tackling the sleep quality problem of so many young adults out there. We believe
Because sleep
matters.